Welcome to the Coquitlam Whiskey Barrel Podcast with your hosts, Uncle Corey and Uncle Dono.
Recording off some bullshit.
He left his Stanley Cup back on the ice in 1980.
It's embarrassing.
Let's give Corey a round of applause like you were the fucking service staff at a wedding.
Who shot you? Separate the weak from the obsolete.
That signifies season 2. We're back.
And whether you're happy or if you're listening, that might be an unfortunate thing. Like, that doesn't necessarily, us being back doesn't necessarily make your life better and or worse or anything like that. But there's ice in the glass.
And beers are cold and we're ready to go.
And we're ready to
we've
go.
We've made some changes, though.
In what way?
Well, we've moved studios. We let the Wendy Law Studios go. We're in the Wendy Dick Studios
The
now.
Wendy Dick Studios, yep, absolutely.
Which is exciting. We had to let go of Angela.
Yeah.
There was some sort of internal
Hashtag
HR, hostile working environment.
I don't know.
Yes. Anyway, we got some intern.
Yeah.
Steven? I don't know. He's
might,
not going to last.
He may or may not.
Yeah,
but
so we're looking for a producer, if you know anybody.
Yeah.
We'd like to thank Angela for all her hard work. She
Absolutely.
was a model employee, and we wish her all the best in the future. She can go fuck herself, too. But
whatever endeavors she
yes.
desires, as it were.
Yeah. It's still some legal battles that we're dealing with, so we can't really talk about the situation.
Our lawyers have urged us not to.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're here in the Wendy Dick Studios. We got Steven being an idiot.
He's behind the glass. He's figuring it out.
It's a whole thing.
But you get what you pay for. I think that's what it is.
At the end of the day, that's what it comes down to.
You get what you pay for.
You've had a big change. Since we last left you, you're a married man.
I guess you're right. That's true. You are right. I don't guess that. That's a true story. That happened.
You might be able to confirm this with me. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. But the biggest difference from being married to when you weren't married is one question changes.
What's that?
Before you get married, the question is, when are you going to get married? Everyone's asking,
when
are you getting married, when are you getting married?
I already know where you're going with this. But still continue, please.
And after you get married, the question is, when are you going to have kids?
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. That's the only change.
That's for sure. For us, considering we already own our place, we've lived together for 10 years, it's not, none of that, yes. So, because we've been together that long, that has always been a question. That's for the last 3-4 years, that's been a question. Since I basically turned 30, that's been a question.
Right.
But it's always hand in hand. But yeah, now that when are you going to get married thing, it's like, well, I had 2 weddings, bitch. I'm sorry you weren't invited. It's not my problem. And now it's just, when are you having kids? And which is like none of your business. How about that?
Yeah.
How about that's the answer to that question?
Yeah.
How about maybe I decide I don't want to? That's not really an option. Cause
maybe I already have a couple running around I don't know about.
Yeah, how about that? Maybe I've already slipped some by the goalie. Maybe there's a 1-2 cutie pie with,
a big-ass head walking around.
Exactly. We have no idea. And I'm just a delinquent father. But here we are on the podcast,
Figuring
it out, one thing at a time. Yes, but yeah, I got married. You were there both times.
Yeah.
And
we had a good time.
We had a great time. Vegas, here, yeah, all that good stuff.
As we take it back to the podcast a little bit.
Sure.
They do say that being your podcast co-host is a little bit like having sex with Oprah. It's an honor, but I don't really want to do it.
But you get to tell people you do it.
You get to tell people. That joke... So, the backstory behind that joke, which flopped at your wedding.
Flopped. Hard flop.
Yeah, hard flop.
My dad literally heckled, goes, "Move on!"
Yeah. So, I heard that joke at a wedding probably 8 years ago. 10 years ago.
So you've been putting that in the holster.
And my brother emceed a wedding shortly thereafter.
Uh-huh.
That joke flopped the first time. My brother thought he could resurrect it and make it a hit when he emceed.
Oh.
So he told it at a wedding.
And?
Flopped.
Of course.
So I, third time lucky, being the champion that I am, said, no, if anyone's going to make this joke work, it's me. And I might have flopped the worst.
It was brutal.
It was awful.
It was brutal.
But But we recovered, and we still had a good night.
And it was great.
But it was...
Everything, if you wouldn't have told that joke, your night would have been flawless.
Yeah.
100%. Flawless. But it was just the first thing you said, and my grandma's like, is he talking about fucking Oprah right now? And I'm like, I don't know. I didn't go over, I didn't give him any notes before.
It all comes full circle. You get what you pay for.
Yeah, exactly. Right? you tell, hey man, I need, just some tasteful humor would be great. It's like, well, I'm going to bang Oprah later. It's an honor. What? Nobody, what happened there? What does that have to do with anything?
Just anyway, if you don't try, you can never succeed.
Right. You miss all the shots you don't take.
Yeah.
But here we are.
You only learn from mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
You either win or you learn.
Mm-hmm.
Conor McGregor said that one.
Or you die trying.
Or you die.
You get rich or you die trying. That's why you're listening still.
Well, let's take it to the league. We've
right.
made some changes.
Here we are.
We're down to 11 teams. As far as the podcast is concerned.
Yes.
Yeah, there's one team that shall not be named and won't be spoken about. So we've got 11.
Period. But, full disclosure, and because we're all about full disclosure with our audience, with our fans, as it were, is that's at the request of the 12th team.
Yes.
You can't see, it's not a video podcast, I put quotes around the 12th team. So, we're just going to leave it at that. There was a request and we want to respect that.
Yes.
Right? Because we're respectful people, we're just going to leave that team. That team shall remain nameless.
Yep.
And that's kind of it. That's where we're going.
To the intelligent listener, to the smart person, they'll probably figure that out through process of elimination.
Yeah.
But for our casual other 250 plus fans, we'll leave it at that.
Okay.
And we've introduced a new team into the league.
Yes.
Or new-ish team.
New-ish.
Yeah.
New-ish.
New-ish.
Which reminds me, for the first time all year, I gotta open up the phones.
We're gonna open up the phones.
I'll open up the phones.
I'll talk about the situation at hand. We've had Team Amit Gajar has finally ditched his co-pilot, or what? He was kind of more of like his assistant.
I would say
Amit was pulling the strings.
I would say power bottom.
Power bottom. Sure, I would agree. That. So the power bottom has split off. And now we have Amit Gajar as his own GM and Brad Friend as his own. So welcome to the league individually.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that split showed in both of their drafts, but we'll get to it. It's exciting. They finally have. Now they have to rely on themselves and themselves only.
Yeah, like this happened to me and Kurt. We shared a team years and years ago in the eons of this league, and then we won the championship. And they were like, you guys are too good together. We have to split you up. Mm-hmm. And I won the next year, too. So let's see if Brad and Amit, they're co-champions. They are former champions.
Yes.
So, disrespectful as, they never touched the belt and or the trophy.
Right.
But we'll see what they can do. I mean, I'm just perusing their lineups right now. I'm not, they both went quarterback too early, for example, and tight end too early, for example, and
kicker too early and defense too early.
Yeah. It went too early on everything.
Yep.
I think it's the story of Brad Friend's life, just a little too early. You know what I mean? Anyways, let's keep on track here.
So we'll go back to the GMs just to recap. We've got Monsieur Paul Lalonde.
Bonjour.
Myself, Corey Sayers, Brad Patterson, Perry Tascona, Amit Gajar, Brad Friend, Mr. Nightingale himself, Corey Nightingale, potentially 2018's Father of the Year, Kurt LeBranch.
Yeah. He's in the running, for sure.
He's in the running, big time.
Yeah.
Big time. Newlywed, Mr. Sullivan.
Yeah.
Sully.
Congratulations,
We're very happy
sir.
for you, Sully. Yourself, Uncle Don.
Yeah.
And Christopher Hinton, and then a team that shall not. That's it. That's basically that. We have 11.
You already said too much.
I've gone too far. So
again, our lawyers are embroiled in enough things right now.
Yeah,
we don't need to worry about.
Let's. We can break down Bonjour Paul Lalonde's team.
Yeah.
He wasn't there for the draft to draft it, so let's just say he drafted the best team he's ever drafted. That may or may not have been because he wasn't there.
Yeah, well, okay. So what happened with Paul is that he told me that he sent me a list and he said, hey, I want as close to this team as I could get. He just sent me a picture of a team that he had in another league, and I was like, okay, I think I can make that happen for you. And that was how Paul was drafted. The other 2 other people were auto-drafted, but we did that as a unit. Everybody, that was Hinton, and who's the other person? Sully, right, because Sully was getting married or something, so he couldn't attend.
Some bullshit excuse.
Some bullshit, like, oh, my family's from out of town, and they're all here, and they want to celebrate the fact that I just got married, and they want to give me a bunch of gifts and a bunch of whatever. Yeah, well, whatever, Sully. Next time, show up.
Yeah, football.
Yeah, like, who, like, full disclosure, what kind of ass clown plans their wedding at the same time that there's the draft?
Yeah, I don't know.
What's more important?
Terrible planning.
What's more important?
Yeah. And I know it was him that picked that date.
I know it is. I was there. It was a lovely occasion. I had a great time. Some of the best wedding food I've ever had. Sully did it real greasy. Did brisket, pulled pork, ribs, fried chicken, biscuits, chili, just southern barbecue at its finest. It was tremendous. I was blown away by the spread. But still, it's fucking draft weekend. What's wrong with you?
He should have skipped the wedding. At that point, you just got to elope and draft.
And if she doesn't understand, well, guess what? That's not the woman for you.
No.
But that's Sully's decision.
Yeah.
That is what it is.
Yeah.
Sully makes that decision.
We'll always be proud of him.
Yeah, we're still proud of him. Anyways, okay, so
Balalon.
Bonjour. Are we breaking down the teams? Is that what we want to do right now?
We got to break him down. Le'Veon Bell first off the board. There was no other way he could go, being that we were formerly a keeper league. Le'Veon Bell, Mike Evans, Kenyon Drake, Cam Newton, Doug Baldwin, Kyle Rudolph, Duke Johnson Jr., Cooper Kupp, Kenny Stills, John Ross, and then it doesn't really get terribly impressive after that. Not that it was impressive beforehand. But you basically did what he asked you to do. You drafted the team as close to what he wanted.
Yeah, exactly. You wanted Doug Baldwin, you wanted Kenyon Drake, you wanted Mike Evans, you wanted Kyle Rudolph, Duke Johnson Jr., Cooper Kupp, Kenny Stills, John Ross, Panthers team. Like, all those guys are on his other team. Yeah. Except the difference is that in his other team he had DeAndre Hopkins, and this one I got him Le'Veon Bell. Sorry.
Yeah. Whoops.
Sorry I'm not sorry.
Yeah. We'll see if he can maintain. We'll see if Cam can be the Cam of old. We'll see if Le'Veon Bell even shows up this week.
Yeah, is he going to? That's a great question.
Well, he hasn't shown up yet, and it's Tuesday. So, playing week 1, I doubt it.
Being effective week 1.
Sure.
Better question. He hasn't practiced with the squad all off season. I don't know. You got to wonder when a guy does things like that. Like, do the rest of the team, do they all side with him and go, yeah, get your money? Or are they like, hey, we're out here taking hits, catching balls, running the ball, and you're just sitting there and you're upset because you're getting $15 million and you want $15 million guaranteed for the next 6 years as opposed to just right now? Like, I get why, I get the holdout. I understand that, but how does the rest of the team feel?
Well, the biggest thing with him is he has to play a certain amount of games this year to qualify to become a free agent. So he'll have to show up at some point.
Is that a thing? Is that really a thing?
Yeah. He's got to meet a minimum amount. Otherwise, he goes into the same situation next year, I believe. I believe that's the case. So that's it. I mean, if Paul was there, he still wouldn't have drafted his handcuffed James Conner, I don't think, because that's just what it is. But we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Did he draft James Conner?
No, he didn't. But he wouldn't have drafted him if he was there anyway.
Is James Conner available?
No, he's not. He's taken.
Who's got him?
Brad Friend.
Oh, Brad Friend. Sneaky Brad Friend. Okay, well, either way, there you go. That's Paul's team. Let's get on. Do you want to go to yours, or do you want to do yours last? What do you want to do?
We can skip mine. We'll go to Patterson, who kept David Johnson and Odell Beckham, so you're never mad at that start.
Yeah, 1-2.
Yeah, it goes kind of a little bit questionable after that. He's got a lot of question marks. He's boom or bust, Brad Patterson, which is never like him. He usually likes to go safe. He
likes to go safe and players who have been in the league a long time.
Yeah. So he's got Derrick Henry. Who knows? Hasn't shown that he can be a legit number one yet.
And then the Titans in the offseason, they went and they invested in Dion Lewis. So do they even think he can be a number one? He's built like a number one, but he's a big boy running between the tackles there. Like,
we'll see what happens. Demaryius Thomas is always reliable. He's not going to blow your mind, but he'll get you some points. Allen Robinson is a question mark. New team, new offense, coming off an injury. I like Rashad Penny, but I don't.
Do you like the running game in Seattle at all?
That's potential.
I don't.
I haven't. Their offensive line has improved
They
a
haven't
little bit,
been,
but
they haven't had a back worth owning since Marshawn Lynch in what was that, 2015?
Yeah.
2014? Like that's just the reality of the situation. That's, when people go into these drafts, I've got this number one guy. It's like Brad's got Allen Robinson. Oh, he's the number one guy. Well, did you want the number one pass catcher in the Bears last year? No.
I couldn't even tell you who that was.
Exactly.
Who was it?
I don't know.
No.
Meredith? But he was
Didn't
hurt
he blow
all
his
season.
knee?
So I have no idea.
Yeah.
So now that Allen Robinson, who blew his knee last year, he's with the Bears, it's the same thing. Now they got the new quarterback, but Trubisky played, I think, the last couple of games last season. And
didn't do anything for anybody.
Exactly. So I don't know. Do you want the running back in Seattle? Like, take the homerism out of it and just, I know you're a fan of all bird teams. But
just coming out of college, he's been spectacular, so that's what you're banking on.
Yeah. Well,
he can do enough himself.
So is one of the guys that I drafted, and the guy from, not this team. The guy from the Bucks, the rookie from the Bucks,
Ronald Jones.
Ronald Jones, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he was highly praised too. Either way,
he's had a tough preseason.
So now Kirk Cousins, Brad, a little homerism there, loves
and
himself.
way high on a quarterback.
Way too high.
What was he, the third off the board?
He was the third quarterback, and he, of course,
fifth quarter.
And he got two quarterbacks. So Brad takes Kirk Cousins, like a homeless person, in the 7th round, and he could have gotten it doesn't really matter. I'll take
Goodwin, Tate, Coleman, Crabtree. Jordy doesn't look too bad now.
Yeah.
Burkhead, Robert Woods, Aguilar, Sanders.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Keep going.
Because
he gets Phillip Rivers in the 12th.
Right.
And Kirk Cousins versus Phillip Rivers. Are we talking 2-3 spots? Even if Cousins has a great year, which I think he will. I'm just saying, it's a waste. It's a bit of a waste of a pick, especially if you're going to get two quarterbacks.
If you're going to get two quarterbacks, get too late.
Yes.
If you're going to
It's a Tyrod Taylor and a Phillip Rivers in the 12th and 13th.
Sure. It's whoever you want. It doesn't really matter at that point. You've got enough depth on your bench that you're going to have a decent year anyway.
Like if you look right next to his, you look at Perry's team, for example. Perry, 12th and 13th round, Ben Roethlisberger and Matt Ryan. Do you like that in the 12th and 13th, or do you like Kirk Cousins in the 7th? And that's just it.
I like Ben Roethlisberger over Kirk Cousins, and I like Matt Ryan tied with Phillip Rivers. So
that's what I'm saying. So if you're gonna do quarterbacks, two quarterbacks, you do them late. If you're gonna go early, well, make sure you get Tom Brady.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That just is what it is.
And we continue on with question marks. Is Sammy Watkins going to be able to do anything in that Chiefs defense or in that Chiefs offense?
Well, yeah, he won't be playing in the defense.
Well, maybe he will be.
You misspoke, and I called you out. Okay,
thanks, buddy.
The listeners heard it.
Language.
The listeners heard it. I heard it. Needed to say something about it.
Will
he do something? I don't know. It's exciting. Sammy Watkins is always about health for me.
Sure.
It's just are his feet okay?
And
that's
it's boom or bust.
And that's it. When he is playing, though, think about last year. How many times did you mock me that 4 weeks in a row I kept him on my bench in our PPR league, and he was getting 30 points a game?
Right.
So.
And then you
finally
dropped him.
Yeah, and then I dropped him. But it's when if he's healthy, he's a talented receiver. He gets separation. He's a big guy out there. So, but I don't know. And I don't hate the Chiefs' offense. So I'm not.
Sure. You're not mad at it, but you're not happy with it. You're indifferent. He gets his boy Doug Martin, which he loves, back up in Oakland. I don't know.
Does anybody take Doug Martin?
I don't know if I've been in a lot of drafts. I don't think he's
never been drafted.
So he went in the 10th.
Yeah.
Followed up by the Rams D, again way too high on a defense, especially if it's the Rams that you're going to take.
Yeah.
But that's the best part about this league is people get scared all of a sudden that they might not get a defense, and it's like, Brad, the Rams defense might not be on your team even week 1, maybe week 2. I don't even know what defense I have. They might not be on my team in week 1. I don't care. Just take somebody and get rid of them.
I traded my defense at the draft.
Yeah, that was weird. Cortland Sutton, great rookie. We'll see if he can do anything in the Denver offense. Third wide receiver right now, but if one of the big boys goes down, maybe he could be something.
But he got Demaryius Thomas as well.
So he's handcuffed his wide receiver.
I guess.
Basically. They're similar players, big boy Cortland Sutton.
Sure.
Des Bryant, who doesn't have a team. I mean, he could have just not drafted him and picked him up off the waivers for free when that came to it. But
yeah, what is the thinking there?
It'll be the first guy he drops.
It will be, but again, how many leagues are you in?
3.
3. Okay. Is Des been drafted in any other league?
No.
Is Des being drafted by anybody that isn't just that's going to be the first guy I drop? If Dez is picked up by any team, what team is Des Bryant going to get picked up by that you're going to go, oh, I need to get Des Bryant?
The Pats?
The Pats, yeah. Okay. But
the Saints?
Sure.
The Packers.
Okay, but if he goes to the Jets.
No.
That's what I'm saying. No. So, the chances...
I need a team that's going to put up 40 points every week, and just maybe he's the wide receiver 3 and...
Yeah,
sneak something.
But Dez is what he is at this point.
He hasn't been relevant in a few years.
He's a jump ball specialist. He can't. Again, it's just you just hope that Dez can come down with it.
Yeah.
But you need a good quarterback for that. So whatever. So there's 3 options for Dez to be relevant if he signs with a team. Most likely he's going to end up on, just a random that you're gonna go what if he goes to Buffalo, are you excited that Nathan Peterman finally has Des Bryant to throw to?
No, there's nothing that excites me about any of that.
And Des wants $20 million a year, and Le'Veon Bell can't get that, so Des is out of his mind.
Yeah.
Okay, and then his kicker. So who gives a shit about that? Let's move on to Perry. Leonard Fournette, first round. He kept him or he drafted him?
He drafted him.
Drafted him. We like that. What do you think? You like Leonard Fournette this year?
He didn't have much of an option. I think it was between Fournette and Melvin Gordon.
I don't know who I prefer at that point between those two.
Melvin Gordon's going to catch more balls.
And score more touchdowns.
Get more opportunities.
How's Fournette's feet? That was a whole problem last year.
They're both injury risks.
They're right beside each other. I'm not mad at that. You take one, you flip a coin.
That's the Le'Veon Bell, Todd Gurley argument.
Right.
Well, I'll take one of the two.
Right. Okay. Then we got Devontae Adams, who people are crazy high on this year, because they're just assuming. I don't know why Aaron Rodgers is a guarantee. He's going to play all 16 games. I just don't think that's true for him. It wasn't true last year, and the year before that, he was quarterback number 8 or number 9. People are confused. They think it's 2013. That isn't the Aaron Rodgers that we're looking at right now. His number 1 wideout other than Jordy Nelson, isn't always, money in the bank. So people are going to either learn a lot about Devontae Adams and that Packers offense, or I'm wrong, because I don't have a lot of Devontae Adams, but I think it's going to be, oh my God, Don, you're an idiot, or he's going to spread it around I think he does more than people realize, because again, it's not 2015, but I could be wrong.
People have been hoping for Devontae Adams for a long time.
He's not a rookie, exactly. It's not his second year.
Yeah,
it's his 4th or 5th year, and he was good last year, even with what the hell was the name?
Brett Hundley.
He was fine, but I don't know. I just
okay, so he goes so high, and he's got Aaron Rodgers. Did Aaron Rodgers' 2nd or 3rd wide receiver go? No. So is it really going to be that? I understand that Cobb. We don't know what Cobb's going to do, but Geronimo Allison wasn't drafted.
No.
Could he have been? Maybe. If Aaron Rodgers is so great, he probably should have been.
Yeah.
Equanimous St. Brown, was he drafted? No. But he probably should have been. Aaron Rodgers is so good.
I like that you said that name I know who the fuck that is.
And I can't say Geronimo, but I can say Equanimous St. Brown. Yeah. But anyway, that's what I'm saying. Put that in your notebooks if you guys are listeners for somebody.
Geronimo Allison I just picked up in another league.
Sure. There you go. Absolutely.
Just see if anything happens the first 2 weeks.
Yep. I got Perry to panic because I took Gronk in the 3rd right ahead of him.
Yeah.
And so he took Kelsey right away.
I like Kelsey. You're not going to hear me complain
Sure,
about
but I like that starts the terrified people that aren't going to get a good tight end.
Yes, sure.
So he goes Kelsey, and of course on the way back, Ertz goes, right?
The only question about Kelsey, I feel like, is this isn't him with Alex Smith. Alex Smith is a check-down guy.
He doesn't have a dink-and-dunk quarterback anymore.
Which is great for a tight end. Why Rob Gronkowski is so good.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, Tom Brady doesn't throw 40-yard touchdowns.
No.
Right?
He throws them 10 and the guy runs
over the middle. It's an extension of the running game. It's always how it has been. So.
Yeah.
But I like Kelsey, so I'm not hate on that.
Yeah. Brandon Cooks next. We'll see.
I still think Robert Woods is the number one for the Rams. So
again, new team, new offense. Who knows how long it's going to take him? Yeah. And he's just a stretch player.
Yeah.
Deion Lewis, I do like.
Perry loves Deion Lewis.
Perry loves Deion Lewis, so that's not bad. Sony Michel, again, we'll see.
Should
probably be pretty decent. Goodwin, Marquise Goodwin's a boomer bust. C.J. Anderson's a we'll see. He drafted Nick Chubb and then traded him for T.J. Yeldon because he's got Fournette.
Because he's got a Fournette.
Is it going to be Yeldon?
I don't.
Who's the handcuff? Really?
I don't know. They're not.
I don't know the true handcuff,
they're not even really the same player at all.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeldon. That's like trading, Nick Chubb for Duke Johnson Jr. It's like, well, it's not the same. That's not the same.
Yeah, if you have Carlos Hyde, you want Nick Chubb.
Right.
If you have Carlos Hyde, you don't necessarily need Duke Johnson.
Right. Exactly.
He's not the handcuff.
That's why I traded for Nick Chubb later on.
Sure.
That's why he's on my team now.
Right.
Because I have Carlos Hyde.
Yeah.
I need to back up my fifth running back.
Nick Chubb got traded twice.
Twice.
At the draft.
Yeah.
Nick Chubb.
Tough
go.
If you listen to week 1 last year, you know how high I was on Browns running backs.
Yes. Yeah.
Now I got 2 of them. It's great.
Again, defense in the 10th, way too early. I don't care who they are. Cameron Meredith, question mark. Then he goes back-to-back quarterbacks.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, and takes the smooth routes.
Kenny Golladay.
I mean,
is he queued up?
No, of course he isn't, because he was so irrelevant last year. There's no way he could be.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's fair. Like, you don't have to get defensive.
Why are you giving me trouble for Kenny
You
G?
brought him up. You took over Perry's team. I was talking about them at first. I just figured the reason that you did is because maybe you're queuing up Kenny G.
What do you think about him this year?
Galladay?
Yeah.
I think that... what is he going to be? He's either going to have those smooth routes, and he's going to be talented, or he's going to fall off the map.
And no one's going to care. He'll be the first guy Perry drops.
And the only reason people will know who he is because they listen to this stupid podcast.
Do you want to know what I think about Kenny G?
What do you think about him? That's smooth.
So smooth.
It's too smooth. That's the problem. So when you're sitting there and you have Geronimo Allison on the waiver wire, you go, no, I think I'd rather that smooth route. And that's what you're dealing with at that point.
So we need to come up with a segment here for Perry.
Yeah.
Because he does like them. Last year has Perry traded Drew Brees yet?
Yeah.
This year,
and he gave us the old bait and switch.
He did.
He gave us the bait and switch.
Yeah, the old switcheroo. What's good for the goose is what's good for the gander, if you will.
Yeah, the gander was all goosed, as it were.
So this year, the new segment, we're letting you know now, live, in Season 2, Episode 1.
Yes.
Has Perry dropped Kenny Galladay?
Yeah.
It might not make it till this thing even gets posted. Yeah. It might be over before it starts.
We're not updating this.
When he sees Equanimous St. Brown,
yeah, exactly.
It could be over. So has Perry dropped Kenny G yet? Don, bring it up. You got it live there?
Yeah. Hold on. Let me just take a quick peek here.
We're just doing a quick little background check.
Yeah,
usually Steven, the intern, is queued up for us.
Pull that up for us, Steven. Yeah. No, of course not. Absolutely. Let me take a quick peek. And... No, he's starting. He's in his flex. He's in his flex. He's in his flex. Okay.
Oh, perfect.
Excellent. So... We'll keep you guys, I know it's a nail biter, but we'll keep you guys updated on what's going on with Kenny Galladay and Perry's team. Okay, moving on.
Team Amit Gajar, who's separated from his cohort. Mm-hmm. Now they had an interesting dilemma. So they, as a joint team, could keep Antonio Brown and Zeke.
Right.
And they decided to, split teams, and they decided to split keepers.
Yeah.
Then they fought over who would the keeper be. Now, of those two, who are you keeping if you can only keep one?
Ezekiel.
Ezekiel is the answer for me, too. Who did they fight over?
Antonio Brown.
Why? That's them in a nutshell. It's literally them. So Amit lost that, but because he lost, he got to choose if he wanted to draft in the 6th slot or the 7th.
Oh, is that how it worked? They were across the same.
Yeah, one guy.
Okay, that's great. That's fair.
Picks the guy he wants to keep. The other guy picks his slot, which is fine.
Okay.
So I think Amit ends up way better because he's ahead in the draft order and he gets to keep Zeke over Brown, so he's totally fine. I look at the two side by side. Would you rather have Ezekiel Elliott and AJ Green on your team or Antonio Brown and LaShawn McCoy?
Ezekiel Elliott and AJ Green.
All day.
Actually, it's not even close.
Not even close.
No.
Not even close.
No. The leap between Zeke and Shady versus Brown and Green, I don't think is even close.
Yeah, there's definitely a gap between Brown and Green,
Absolutely.
but it's not nearly as wide.
That's what I'm saying.
Between Zeke and Shady.
And that's not because of the talent of the player. There's just a lot of question marks with Shady.
Yes.
And I just don't know if that's my number, because Brad doesn't even get another running back until Adrian Peterson. So, like it's 2010.
Sorry, no. Brad doesn't get another running back till Chris Ivory. Why are we talking about Adrian Peterson?
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Does anybody care?
I'm just looking at his team. Oh, he's got James Conner. So he's hoping. So
he doesn't even know who James Conner is, and he doesn't probably even know that Le'Veon Bell is.
Brad's 3 running backs are LaShawn McCoy, Adrian Peterson, and Chris Ivory. Like it's 2012, and we just what year is this? Old running backs. Good old. Oh wow! I didn't even.
Is Chris? Who's he backing up? Is he backing up Shady?
Yeah. Put it this way. Now look at that. Okay, and then know that I offered Brad Kamara, Freeman,
Royce Freeman.
Kamara, Royce Freeman, and Aguilar for Antonio Brown, and his running backs are Shady, Chris Ivory, and Adrian Peterson. Are you on drugs? Like, map that out. Do you want Shady, Kamara, Royce Freeman?
Yep. Don't even. Yes. That's it.
Okay, fine.
Let's finish dressing down Brad's team then, because we've already dressed it down enough. We can get back to Amit. So he goes Antonio Brown, then he goes Shady. T.Y. Hilton, who again hasn't been relevant since Luck's been relevant, and Luck is a noodle arm. So
we'll see.
We'll see what happens with Luck. So there's a question mark there.
Might be a great pick. Might be a great 3rd round pick. T.Y. Hilton.
Might be.
If Luck was, you were 100% healthy, you were confident, take the injury out of it, take it. It's Andrew Luck doing Andrew Luck things, finding T.Y. Hilton in the 3rd round. That's a great pick because he's a top 15 guy overall if Luck is healthy. So we'll see.
He then goes first quarterback off the board with Aaron Rodgers.
Well, he does first quarterback, first kicker, first defense too.
Yeah, he does it all. He's done it all every time he's played this game.
You're just pulling the trigger.
Greg Olsen, who hopefully we'll see. I mean, Greg Olsen was so up and down last year. Yeah, he got hurt for a bit, but he had some terrible games. So who really knows about Greg Olsen? I mean, I guess if I'm going to draft a tight end in the 5th, it's not going to be Greg Olsen, and I'm not going to draft a tight end at that point.
But you were the first to take a tight end this year.
I took a pass catcher, as I see it.
Yeah.
Like, when I look at my wide receivers, I'm not thrilled with them, but my number 1 wide receiver is Gronk.
Yeah.
That's how you have to look at it when you draft Gronk.
I love, you don't have to sell me on Gronk. I'm just saying. You're saying you don't take tight ends early. I'm saying you do it first.
Never do, but Gronk in the 3rd,
You're fine. I like it. When Gronk goes off of any board, it's good for me because it takes that anxiety away from me.
Because you would take him there.
I have Freeman?
Yeah.
No, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
He doesn't make it back to you. Not a chance.
Yeah, no.
Not a chance.
No, he doesn't make it back. He doesn't make it probably past. Brad probably takes him, or Perry, or Mike.
Anybody, yeah.
Anybody, yeah.
It doesn't.
So it's fine.
Okay.
I don't care. We're not talking about that.
All right, so Brad, and then Crabtree, which I don't love Crabtree this year.
No, I'm not.
But
was there any relevant Ravens wide receiver last year?
Last year, no. This is the same conversation we were just having about what's his face over there, Allen Robinson.
Yeah.
Michael Crabtree is, but in Michael Crabtree's defense, it's Michael Crabtree is. Cue Brad saying, by the way, he's listening to this right now and he's going, "Sayers, did you even make the playoffs last year?"
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, sorry, Brad. I'm just calling you out. But yeah, Crabtree is. He was good with the 49ers. and then
5 years ago.
No, but he was successful. He is the unsexy Amari Cooper. We were saying that last year. So he was good with the Raiders as well. So maybe he can make good with the Ravens. I'm not sure. Maybe they switch to Lamar Jackson and the Ravens actually have a passing attack.
He goes then Jags defense, which obviously is way too early in the 8th. I don't know the last time, well, maybe 10 years ago, that a defense, the number one defense one year was the number one defense the next year. Every year there's somebody new, there's somebody better, there's somebody... You think anyone drafted the Jags defense last year? I don't know many people that did. And if they did, maybe the 12th pick, like maybe one late.
They're the Saints defense of this year.
Sure.
People are excited about the Saints defense because of last year, and it's the same thing.
But it'll be the Titans defense that all of a sudden comes out of nowhere and they're the number one, and everyone wants to pick them up. So that's why we say never draft a defense that early.
Never.
He could have got them, even if he wanted them, he could have got them 2 rounds later.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So who cares?
100%.
He goes Cobb. Oh, so he did take Cobb. Cobb did get drafted. I was looking at the bottom of the board where Cobb should have been drafted. That's why I missed him in the middle rounds. He didn't take Geronimo Allison. He didn't take Equanimous St. Brown. So
of course.
We'll see. I know there's been
talk
about them trying to trade Cobb.
Yeah.
So who knows what's going to happen. Could end up being okay for him, but still too high.
Then he got a second quarterback.
And this was probably the pick of the draft that didn't make any sense to...
Take Carson Wentz, who's not going to start.
It was the pick that didn't make any sense to me whatsoever.
Yeah.
Of all the picks, this one probably didn't make the most sense. You've got Aaron Rodgers. Why are you drafting Carson Wentz? Like, if he's going to draft somebody, draft Sam Darnold or draft Baker Mayfield.
Why?
Because you have Aaron Rodgers. So take a flyer on someone that could be incredible.
Yeah, well, none of it makes sense.
Carson Wentz is hurt, so he's just basically taking up a bench spot, clogging up your bench.
Yeah.
And
especially if you're going to go early on quarterback. Now that's 2 picks, plus early on defense, plus early on tight end.
We talked about how he has no running backs, right?
Yeah.
So in his Carson Wentz round, he probably could have taken... Oh, I would probably take Aaron Jones. At least you've got somebody that could be half decent. Nick Chubb. James White. There's so many other running backs that have gone after that he should have taken.
And Carson Wentz is probably not going. Like, when he picked his kicker, like 1 pick later, he could have taken Carson Wentz.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
The problem with taking Carson Wentz is if he's someone's first quarterback off the board, they have to draft another one.
Yeah.
He did it the opposite way, and it makes no sense. He'll get dropped, or Brad will hold on to him all year and try to trade him, and he won't get anything for him, and he'll just wasted points on his bench.
Then the rest of his team is all next 5 picks are irrelevant.
All things considered, he might not play for 3 or 4 weeks. So Brad will probably be the first guy off his board. He drops his Wentz.
Carson Wentz.
Yeah, or Adrian Peterson, or Greg Olsen, or Crabtree, or Cobb, or Sanu, or Ivory. Or Deshaun Jackson.
I can't believe he turned down that trade looking at his team right now.
His team could finish dead last.
Okay.
Follows it up with Sanu, Chris Ivory.
Yeah, again, irrelevant. Nightingale.
No, we haven't even talked about Amit's team.
Well, we moved on.
We can run it down. Zeke, AJ Green, Stephon Diggs, Zach Ertz, Tom Brady, Chris Carson, Tevin Coleman, Corey Davis, Devin Funchess, Eagles defense, Josh Doxson, Gostowski, the first kicker off the board in the 12th. Why? Just to stick it to Brad Friend, but
it was pure spite. He said that too.
Who needs to stick anything to Brad Friend? It doesn't matter.
What?
Yeah, Corey Clement, Rod Smith, who he backed up Zeke, so actually made a smart call, which was great. And then Brandon Marshall.
Phones are open.
We'll take a quick break there, and we'll answer the phones there.
You're on the You're live on the podcast.
Hey.
What's going on?
Is it Fat Albert or is this Kurt?
Kurt from Team Go Luck Yourself.
How are you doing, sir?
How we doing, boys? How we doing? Good to hear you back.
It's good to be back on the airwaves. We're just doing a quick breakdown of the teams in the draft.
Yeah.
We've
Nice.
completely dressed down Brad Friend's team.
Oh, God. Brad Friend, I just want to say this. He made my day at the draft when he pulled out a checkbook and wrote a check. I love that. That was gangster as fuck. That was gangster.
But
oh, no, he did not.
Did he post-date it?
He might have been post-dated. I didn't get in for a good look, but it was gangster.
What happens
Who
when
carries
that...
around a checkbook with him?
Who has time to go, ooh, I got to go back to into my place because I forgot my checkbook instead of just stop by the drive-through ATM.
Yeah. And who do I make that out to? The Whiskey Barrel? Oh,
Yeah.
No. I was just going to say, what's up with people not showing up to drafts anymore? I'm going to make it quick and I'm going to be out of here so you guys can carry on. I'm not going to waste much of your time this week because I'll probably be around sometime in the next couple weeks.
Okay, got it.
I'm sick of all these people missing drafts. Hinton's a ghost. You got 1 year from today. Book it off. It's always the first week before the season starts, that weekend, around there. Clear your schedule. Get on board. It ain't hard.
You know what my biggest thing, Kurt, is come start of July, end of June, I'm reaching out to my league commissioners. I'm saying, hey, when are you thinking draft? It's summertime. Yeah. Everyone's busy. I need to plan my draft. Sorry, I need to plan my vacation time around my draft, not the other way around.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
I've got my priorities in order. And these guys, I didn't know when the draft was, like a week before the season. Well, then get out of the league if you're not interested.
Yeah, for the last, 8, 9, 10 seasons. Yeah, it's been the week before it's the last week after preseason.
It's been one of these two. It's been one of these 2 weeks for sure.
Yeah,
a weekend.
And I understand people have families and girlfriends, but you know what?
Sir, you're a brand new father yourself. You just moved into a brand new house that you just bought.
But I had three that went on. I did one tonight, one on Sunday with you guys, and one on Saturday. And I said, this weekend's just a wash.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's football season. It's on.
Yeah.
Love me or leave me.
I like that.
Well, we love you, Kurt. We'll never leave you, buddy.
All right, boys. I'll let you get back at her.
Say hi to Link for us.
I will. I'll give him a big high five for you.
All right, see you, pal. Have a good day.
Thanks for the call.
Thanks. See, that's what we need.
That was my biggest thing with the no-shows is, you know what, there's some people that obviously they couldn't make it, and this year we had some existential circumstances. Trips had already been booked, a wedding, you whatever. It's a year in advance.
Yeah.
That is what it is. But no, there's people, when's the draft? Like a week before? Like you gotta be, if you're excited about it, you're asking these questions months before.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it rolling.
All right.
Are we still going to talk about the fact that Amit drafted it? Okay, you know what? Let's just talk about this. Looking at the two teams side by side.
Who would you
They're
rather?
former champs. They've done this before. Again, me and Kurt, we're always competitive in this league. We've won together. Mm-hmm. You know, we've done well separately. It's Brad and Amit. Whose team do you want?
Amit's.
Yeah.
Not close.
Amit's, and it's not close.
Yeah. Amit's team, I think, can make the playoffs, and I think Brad Friend wins the last place.
Brad, Friend, and Don will get to talking, and we'll make some moves around, and I don't worry about that. So let's go on to Nightingale now. Okay.
Mr. Nightingale.
The champ. As it were.
Yeah, and a proud champion, and a champion that the league is proud of. Showed up with the belt again to the draft. Showed up to your wedding with the belt.
To my wedding with the belt.
And wore it, and with pride.
And Wendy said, do you see that Nightingale brought the belt to the wedding? This is my bride, as it were. While we were sitting at the head table, and she goes, did you see that Nightingale brought the belt? I said, the belt was the first thing I saw all day. Mm-hmm. It's there. It moves around the room. It is the room. It's every room it's in.
You almost don't see that Nightingale's there. You just see the belt.
Just see the belt. So not only was I proud to have the champ at my wedding, let's just say that.
Of course.
Proud.
You're in the company of celebrity.
Exactly. 100%. Everybody, the bride didn't just walk in. The champ just walked in. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And everybody, there was a gasp.
Belt. I saw the gasp. I was up at the front, right? I even paused my mid-speech because Nightingale walked in the room. Yeah. Mind you, he was late, so that was a little
he did show up late. That's true. But he had the belt with him, and I just respect that. And that's a champ we can get behind. Now, let's keep it moving.
It's just a huge change from the previous two champs that either didn't take the belt or trophy or lost them or broke them. Michael Thomas followed up from Todd Gurley, Tyreek Hill, Mark Ingram.
Too early on Ingram there. That's just too early. As the Kamara owner, that is too early on Ingram. I would have never taken him there.
Where do you take? How he's in the 4th? Where do you take him? 6, 7?
I'd take him where I'd take Chris Hogan or Isaiah Crowell.
So 6 or 7.
Like, I'm happier with Nightingale having Mark Ingram and me having Freeman, Lamar Miller, and Carlos Hyde.
Yep.
Where I could have taken him.
He could have taken Dion Lewis.
Kerryon
Johnson.
Somebody that doesn't have to sit on his bench till week 5.
Weeks, yeah.
Right? That's just it. That's the thing about taking the suspended guys. It's like, well, that's fine. Like, I got, what's his face? Aaron Jones, but that was just to spite you. But now I'm stuck with Aaron Jones.
It's only 2 weeks.
It's only 2 weeks.
Maybe you'll drop him.
Yeah, and you might just be conveniently, hopefully, there to pick him up.
I could be.
Marlon Mack. See, I like Marlon Mack ahead of him. I like everybody
Aside from
around.
The fact that Marlon Mack isn't going to play week 1 and he didn't take Jordan Wilkins, I don't know.
Juju Smith-Schuster, Aaron Rodgers, Greg Olsen. I'm just looking at the people. Larry Fitzgerald, Zach Ertz. I'm taking all of those guys who will start week 1
over Mark Ingram.
Sure,
yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
He goes Marvin Jones, who's the number 5 or number 7 wide receiver last year in the 6th round, which is really good value. Hopefully he can recreate that.
Some of what he did, because he was 30 points a game for the first 4 or 5 games, and then he fell off a cliff.
Sure, but he's a flex option.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if he has to be your wide receiver too, if you've got stud running backs or whatever, that's fine.
And then a quick ranked 285th out of 300. He takes D.D. Westbrook.
That Jags. Someone's going to be the number 1 in the Jags wide receiver core, and no one knows if it's D.D. or Keelan Cole or Dante Moncrief or who's it's going to be.
Is that the first time that you heard D.D. Westbrook's name all offseason?
And yeah.
Yes, exactly. So in the 7th round,
I heard more about D.D. last year than I did this year.
I know.
Let's put it that way.
In the 7th round of our 15-round draft, that was the first time I heard D.D. Westbrook's name. I think Nightingale had last year's draft order. I don't know what the hell he was thinking. He was doing a pretty good.
He could have taken Robert Woods.
He could have taken everything, and Robert Woods is definitely one of them. Then he's got Patrick Mahomes. That's a starting quarterback who I think he could have gotten 4 rounds later as well.
Sure.
Latavius Murray, which doesn't make any sense. Ricky Seals-Jones, which again,
tight end in Arizona, and Sam Bradford loves his tight end, so I get it.
Yeah,
and he had a good last 3 weeks when he finally started to play. So we'll see.
When Sam Bradford plays for the first game and a half, we'll see. Sam Bradford.
But then I don't mind tight ends on teams with rookie quarterbacks because they're going to check down, you said, right? So
that's fine.
If Sam Bradford goes down and they bring in Josh Rosen, it could be a decent pick for him. Could be the first guy he drops.
Yeah, then he's got Giovanni Bernard, Kelvin Benjamin. I'm interested in Kelvin Benjamin this year. I know that's not... but I have been for the last 4 years. I think that's my problem is that he's been... I've had him on all of my teams for some reason, and I'm not really sure why. And I know him and Cam were John a little bit after the trade this offseason, but then Benjamin went to catch passes for more yards than Cam threw and more touchdowns than Cam threw.
Right.
So he kind of backed up his stock a little bit too. I like Kelvin Benjamin. And if he can stay healthy, I don't hate him. I don't like, obviously, the Buffalo passing attack.
The problem is that his quarterback throws interceptions, not touchdowns.
Yes, 100%.
Nathan J. Peterman.
Yeah.
Then he goes T.J. Yeldon, who he later traded for Nick Chubb, who he later traded for Matt Breida.
And Matt Breida that late is very good for him.
Better than I would take Matt Breida over T.J. Yeldon and Nick Chubb.
Yeah.
So he actually traded up in value.
Yeah, I agree.
He took the Broncos D and then Dan Bailey. Now this is what I want to talk about, Mr. Nightingale, who's an advocate. We have to keep kickers. We must keep kickers. I need a kicker on my team, and he drafts a kicker that isn't in the league. So that shows how relevant, how much research he does into kickers. Is he took a guy that doesn't even have a team. So why are you fighting for kickers?
He's the Des Bryant of kickers, as it were.
Sure. But that's what I'm saying. We have to have kickers.
We shouldn't have kickers.
What kind of research did you do then on your kicker, Nightingale, if you took one that isn't in the league?
Yeah.
So shut up. No more kickers. And when we impeach Fanuff and I take over the reins from this whole production, Iron Fist kickers, fuck your vote. That's what I say.
I don't hate it.
My last thing I'll say about Nightingale's team is he's handcuff central. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, he doesn't have his own handcuffs. Yeah. He's got everybody else's.
That's good.
He's got Kurt's handcuff in Latavius Murray.
Yeah.
He's got Mikey's handcuff in Gio Bernard. He drafted Perry's handcuff in Leonard Fournette, and then he picked up your handcuff in Nick Chubb from Perry.
Yeah.
What are we doing? What are we doing? Did he draft John Kelly?
No.
Why would he? Right? Why would he? Did he draft Mike Gillislee?
No.
In case Mark Ingram goes down? No. So where are we at? Let's go to potential father of the year, Curtis LeBranche.
Yeah. There's a lot of hype behind his parenting. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I'm hearing nothing but good things. And I'm witnessing nothing but good things.
So he had a debate.
For all the dads that are in the league.
Yeah.
He's up there.
He's one of the top dads.
I'm not mad at him at all.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. It's good stuff. Anyways, so I keep going.
So he had a tough choice because he didn't know if he was going to keep anybody or not.
Yeah.
And his keeper was Dalvin Cook.
And that was a little bit of confusion, and I do side with Kurt's confusion on this one here.
We did it. We've done it the same way every year.
No. But all Kurt was asking a simple question, and it was, just let me know where I'm picking to announce my pick. That's all Kurt was saying. Kurt wasn't asking for what the order was. Kurt was asking, hey, when do I get to say? Am I the fourth person who gets to say, I get to pick fourth?
Yep.
That's all Kurt was saying. And so when it was, hey, we've been doing this every year, and he's like, well, where am I game planning?
That was a misunderstanding.
So I get where Kurt's confusion was. So he was getting kind of pissed off, and he was getting a little ornery about it, and which Kurt tends to do, and he kind of broods a little bit. But I know what he was asking, and I was sitting next to him, and he's like, just let me know when I get the decision to make my pick. As opposed to everybody's going, no, you don't get to pick your keepers before you get your lineup.
Yeah.
And he was going, no, I don't give a shit about that. What he's saying is, am I the fifth person who gets to pick where I'm going? Because then he can go, okay, am I going to be here or am I going to be down here?
Yeah. Am I going to have a chance at Fournette or Gordon, or do I have to keep Cook because there's nobody else left?
Exactly, and that's what all Kurt was asking. So when everybody was just saying, oh, we do it every year, and he's like, well, what? No, we don't. We actually, if you ask the question, when do you get to decide what your pick is, that's out in the open. That's public forum.
Yeah.
So
it's also on the Google Doc, so he could have done that.
No, I know. And I said that to which isn't helpful, obviously, in the moment, but that's why he was getting pissed off.
That information is out there for him to check on. But either way...
But he kept asking the question, and the answer kept coming back. We do it every year. He's like, that's not the question I'm asking. Stop fucking saying we do this every year.
Right.
When do I get... He's like, am I next to pick? Am I 3 people down? What's happening here?
Yep, that's fair.
Yeah. So I can see his frustration, and I was like, oh, shit.
So it basically goes... He kept Dalvin Cook.
Yeah.
Would you take Dalvin Cook or Devonta Freeman?
Dalvin Cook.
Would you take Dalvin Cook or Kareem Hunt? You can't, actually. Sorry, he got kept.
Yeah.
So that's basically what he was choosing between. So he ended up making the right decision anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
Yep, 100%.
Which is fine. And then he follows it up with Christian McCaffrey, who I think is going to have a really good year anyway. So he's got 2 stud running backs.
Yeah.
Which everyone... Sorry. The more astute drafters like to start off their draft with. Amari Cooper, who knows?
This is it. This is the year.
Yeah.
This is the last year we talk about Amari Cooper.
Yeah.
Or, this is either the last year we talk about Amari Cooper or we always talk about Amari Cooper.
This decides whether Amari Cooper keeps going in the top 3 or 4 rounds or if he goes in the 10, 11, 12 rounds.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
If he's... Yeah. He's either... This is the last time he's ever drafted as a first... a
wide receiver 1.
Wide receiver 1, or he's your 4th.
Yeah.
Because, Michael Crabtree was the unsexy Amari Cooper last year. He's had an injury history. He can't score touchdowns. Mm-hmm. He barely he's good for 6 for 80. Like, his yards per catch is fine, but it's like, I don't know. So, that's either unreal value, but he's right on the same level of where he's at. Tyreek Hill, T.Y. Hilton. So, Amari Cooper. So you either got him at the value he's supposed to be, or rumored to be, or whatever the hype is.
Right, yeah. He might not get better than a 3rd round pick.
No.
That probably is he drafted him at his ceiling, not at his floor.
Yes, that's a great way to put it, yeah.
he did the same thing with his next pick with Chris Thompson.
Who I've heard so many mixed stories. Is he back in November? Is he questionable right now? The backfield for the Redskins is just, I'm not...
With no Geis, it's who knows, so I guess take a chance on somebody.
But Thompson was a monster when healthy last year.
Sure, yeah.
But again, it's a different quarterback. And Thompson's a monster catching passes, not running through the middle. So it's...
But he's not going to get the type of volume that Kelly or P. Ryan are going to get, so it's you're hoping for he gets a lot of... He catches a lot
Are
of
you
passes.
purposely not talking about Peterson when you say that?
Yeah, I don't... It's just,
Got it. Juju Smith-Schuster.
How many good games did Adrian Peterson play last year?
He's been on 4 teams in 2 years.
Yeah. How many fantasy games was he relevant for last year? 1? Of 16? 1.
Yeah.
1 is the answer. Juju, I think, is a great pick in the 5th. I'll take that all day. He wanted his boy Andrew Luck, so he got him.
He reached a little early.
Yeah. Jordy could actually be good this year.
I don't hate Jordy at all.
Especially with Martavis gone, right? So
exactly.
He's the bona fide number 2, and it's Jordy Nelson.
Yeah, but now he's got all his chips in the Raiders receiver basket, right? Like Amari and Jordy.
If I'm Kurt, I'm probably trying to trade Amari Cooper right now.
Okay, and what are you trading him for? I like to play that game.
Sure. Who's his case? So if he trades them so he's got Juju and Jordy.
Yeah.
I might try.
And Robbie Anderson, and if Robbie Anderson isn't going to prison,
so I'm trading Amari Cooper for Mark Ingram. I'm gonna try to do that because I've got Dalvin Cook and Christian McCaffrey, so I can wait till Ingram gets back.
So if you're aiming for a running back, that's who you're looking at, or just a running back in that value.
I'm just saying, if I'm Kurt. That's who I'm going for. I've got Dalvin Cook and Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
So I'm stacked. I'm good for running back.
Yeah.
But when Mark Ingram comes back, he slots into my flex. Immediately.
Yeah.
And I'm rolling either Jordy, Juju, or Robbie Anderson, or figuring it out from there. You know what I mean?
Juju,
he's got Keelan Cole. He has potentially a number 1 wide receiver at the bottom
of
his draft board.
Late. Yeah, Kurt did a pretty good job with this draft. It's a little, especially if he does a little sneaky move like that, like. I don't like Ingram that early, but that's only because I'm looking at a draft board. If you're just talking about player for player, I don't hate it. But I'm taking Amari Cooper, and I'm pairing him with Chris Thompson. Okay, we'll say that. And I'm trading for Alex Collins.
I just don't think Thompson has the name value that Collins has.
Okay.
So that's you never want to trade the best running back in the draft.
You mean in
the best running back in the trade?
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not trading Amari Cooper for Alex Collins if I'm the Alex Collins owner. So does Chris Thompson do anything for me?
Okay, here's a better question for you. You like Kerryon Johnson this year, right?
Yeah, but he's a long play.
Just say you like him.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So do you take Amari Cooper and Juju for Jordan Howard?
No.
But you think about it.
No.
You don't not even close?
No, Saquon and Jordan Howard are starting every week. Other than their bye, they're good.
I'm just saying, the pause, it's some form of move with that. I'm just saying. Okay, Christian McCaffrey and Amari Cooper for Saquon.
That I think about.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So that's what... Amari's still there. 6 weeks from now,
his trade value is either as high as it's going to get right now, and he's only going to go down, or we'll see.
Okay, so anyway, let's keep it moving.
Robbie Anderson, Bilal Powell.
And I love Robbie Anderson right there. If Robbie Anderson isn't going to jail, that's awesome.
But he doesn't have the gunslinger Josh McCown. He's got safe rookie check down quarterback Sam.
Doesn't matter. I believe in talent. I'm like Nightingale. I believe in talent.
Josh McCown just threw it up. Let's see what can happen, and Robbie Anderson would catch it.
Bilal Powell. Kurt loves Bilal Powell, even though he can't pronounce his name. He always says bye Lal. It's hilarious.
He took John Kelly, but I guess that's because he couldn't take Latavius Murray, so he couldn't handcuff himself, so he handcuffed somebody else. Mm-hmm. James White, we'll see, could be all right.
Yeah.
Jack Doyle
little homer pick.
Hopefully he can rekindle that relationship with Andrew Luck. Keelan Cole could be a number 1, and then he goes defense kicker, so he did the draft the right way.
Yeah, he finished the draft the way an experienced professional should. And I say professional because I know Kurt's made money playing this. That's... so...
That's the definition of a professional.
Yeah, getting paid to do these things. There's other people who do things that don't get paid and they don't win and whatnot, and they aren't professionals.
Sully.
I'll leave it at that. Sully
goes no keeper. Starts his team with Devonta Freeman and Keenan Allen.
Yeah.
If I was brand new to this league and I didn't have any keepers or any, he's in the 10 spot. Yeah. Couldn't pick where I was drafting. Had no benefits to my team. I was just a brand new team, no players. Yeah. Couldn't pick where I was drafting. They gave me the 10 spot. Yeah. And I started my team with Devonta Freeman and Keenan Allen. I'm kind of happy. Are you not?
I'm taking Julio.
He couldn't get him.
Yeah, he could.
No, over Freeman?
Yeah.
You're going Julio Allen? Or Julio McCaffrey?
Yeah.
He might even get Freeman on the way back.
I'm hoping I'm doing a Julio Allen there. And then I just punt on receiver for the rest of the draft.
You just go all running backs.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I don't have to worry about Larry Fitzgerald later, so I'll do Lamar Miller, Jay Ajayi, you know what I mean?
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Don't even worry about it.
Figure it out. So you're not mad if you start Julio, Keenan Allen?
No.
Of course not.
I kept Kamara and Hopkins, but I had Julio on my team. My team was ridiculous from last year. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you remember it.
I do.
Anyways,
but did you win the championship?
No, unfortunately I didn't.
Who gives a shit? It's because everyone listens to our
podcast. But if I could have kept Hopkins and Julio, I would have. And not because I don't love Kamara, just because I then would have just done what I did with the draft anyway, which was just running back. You know what I mean? That's all.
And two of them are probably going to hit, and you've got Julio and Hopkins.
Yes, and that's just it. So if you can get two stud wide receivers early, I like the idea of that. Nobody on our board has done that. Everybody's been a little mix of but imagine Antonio Brown and Michael Thomas, and then just running back. Yep. You know what I mean? That's
Antonio Brown, AJ Green. He could have done running back.
And then, exactly. Yep. And then instead of doing all the other early stuff he did. Anyway, so that's a great start with Freeman and Allen.
Yeah, Jay Ajayi's been locked in as the number one starting week 1, which is good to hear. So we'll see if he can be a good
healthy.
number 2 for Sell. Larry Fitzgerald was number 5 wide receiver last year. He's going to catch a ton of balls. He's going to be a big target. He's fine with that. Jimmy Graham, we'll see. Aaron Rodgers, when was his last relevant tight end?
People keep saying that
Jermichael Finley was his last relevant tight end.
Before he broke his head and neck and everything. Shout out to Jermichael Finley.
Yeah.
Hashtag keep it moving.
R.I.P.
What? He's not dead.
From the league, though.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, too soon. Jermichael, if you're listening, we're sorry about that.
Yeah. We'll have you on. We can chat about it.
But Richard Rodgers. Remember, people were excited about this. Is Martellus Bennett from last year, right? I don't know. So it's quite clearly a hit or a miss, and it's exactly what Jimmy Graham's going to be.
For a tight end.
It's early for a hit or miss like that, though.
Picks up Drew Brees after Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Deshaun Watson have all gone, so I guess that's fine.
Yeah.
Alfred Morris, who could be the number one.
That's too early for Morris.
Very much too early. Emmanuel Sanders, who's steady.
Who picked that? Who picked Alfred Morris for him?
I don't know.
Somebody did him dirty with that. Sorry about that.
Emmanuel Sanders, Pierre Garçon, Calvin Ridley, Texans D in the 11th. We needed to give him a defense. It's the payment you pay. It's the price you pay for not being on the draft.
Earlier on a defense.
Probably. Ty Montgomery, who will play the first 3 games and then die. Kicker, Devonta Parker, and Samaje P. Ryan. So he's got at least two decent running backs that could be... we're done with that.
Yeah. Okay.
Move on to Mr. Hinton's team.
Yeah.
Kept Kareem Hunt and followed up with Julio, so you're not
mad at that. See, look at those teams side by side, me and Hinton.
Yeah.
You're not mad at Kareem Hunt and Julio or Kamara or Hopkins.
Yeah.
You're fine.
Gets Adam Thielen at the back of the 3rd draft, which is pretty good value, I think, for, again, a wide receiver 1.
Yeah.
Marshawn Lynch, he seems to be really hyped up this year. I just don't know, but we'll see.
In the leagues that I have Lynch, and I think it's 2 of them, he's my 4th running back, I believe.
Yeah, so he's his number 2. Jordan Reed,
Jordan Reed is what he is. He is who we think he is. He's a stud touchdown machine when he's healthy. He is the Tyler Eifert of the Redskins. Reed's great. He's Gronk worthy. People always shit on Gronk, but it's tell me the other tight end that's been a monster or relevant for 6 years that isn't a hurt bag.
Yeah.
I'm waiting to hear, because it was always Gronk and Jimmy Graham, and then it's Gronk and Kelsey, and this year it's Gronk and Ertz, and it's like, tell me who's been relevant for that long.
It's always Gronk and somebody.
It's Gronk and somebody,
never
and then
Kelsey
people
and
always
Ertz.
roll their exactly, and people always roll their Gronk's always a hurt back. Okay, well, tell me the Jordan Reeds of the world that actually stayed somewhat healthy for 6 years.
Yeah.
I just went on a tangent defending my boy Gronk there.
He goes Russell.
Who's gonna go fucking ham this year, by the way.
Yeah, I've got him in a lot of
leagues. And great. He's gonna climb back up to his 14th overall draft pick. He's gonna ball out. It's gonna be insane.
Russell Wilson, Rex Burkhead, Robert Woods, Jamison Crowder, Sterling Shepard, Theo Riddick, Spencer Ware, Frank Gore to round out his team.
The elusive Frank Gore. And I draft.
That just looks like a classic Hinton team.
It is a Hinton team. We did the rotating draft for him there. I stepped in to get the Spencer Ware pick there. I don't love it, but it's back.
No one else was going to draft him, so it's smart to give him his.
It's just give him his handcuff just in case. You never know what happens. Ravens D early again. See, that's when other people get in charge of somebody's team. They just go.
They're going to have a good week one because they're playing Jay Peterman at home.
Oh God, they're going to go fucking ham.
But he'll probably drop them after that.
Ravens D.
Maybe.
They were top 2 or top 3 last year.
It doesn't matter. I don't care if you draft.
Hinton loves a greasy, good defense.
He likes to play defense.
Yeah.
He likes to defend himself. Do you want to break down yours or mine first?
I'd actually like to refill my cocktail if we're going to do any more of this.
We got 10 minutes left. Let's just.
Okay. Well, I've been dry for about 10 minutes. So. Okay, fine. Let's go. Let's go me first.
Okay.
You want me to talk about it or you want to talk about it?
I'll talk about it. You made the right decision. You kept Kamara and Hopkins.
Okay.
You could have chose between Kamara and...
Kamara, Hopkins, Julio, and... I traded Kareem Hunt to somebody else.
I don't think you had anybody else. Did you have Fournette?
I had McCaffrey. I had Fournette.
So I had Kamara, Fournette,
McCaffrey, Hopkins.
You made the right choice.
I got so many goddamn good players.
Mm-hmm. You got Royce Freeman at the back of the third, which all indications are he's Mr. Hype Man. He's going to be great. We just hope he's not the Joe Mixon of last year where he was...
Yep. 100%.
Oh, he's going to be incredible, and then you don't see it till the last 3 weeks.
And my trust behind that is Mixon had Hill and Bernard behind him when he came in last year.
Yep.
And Freeman has Booker, who's terrible.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Lamar Miller is, again... should be good. I like Lamar Miller this year. All indications should be okay. Jonta Foreman's not there, so he's the guy.
And again, so that's that's all that is there.
Yeah.
That's just drafting a running back with a starting running back.
Yeah, and then 2 of your next 3 picks are Browns or former Browns running backs because you're a big Crowell fan and a big Browns back fan. So we know you're going to do that, right? Like that's just a no-brainer.
I had Carlos Hyde on my team last year. I like Carlos Hyde. And that's why I also traded for Nick Chubb later. So that's, again, another starting running back.
You've locked down the Browns and former Browns. You're a Browns guy. You'll find a way to get Duke Johnson on your team, and you'll be okay.
I locked down my 5th running back's backup.
Yes.
So I've got 2 guys who will never start for me. Yeah. But at least if one of them gets injured, I've got the other guy.
And 3 of them will be dropped by the end of week 1. Chris Hogan as your wide receiver 2, or Nelson Aguilar, your choice. Delaney Walker, when we see all these guys going high on tight end and you get Delaney Walker that late, awesome. You handcuff me with Aaron Jones.
Yep. Pure spite pick.
Yep. You took Matt Breida and then you traded him for Nick Chubb, which I don't know so much about.
I don't like at all.
No.
If I didn't have Carlos Hyde, I would have never made that choice.
Sure. And then you get Matt Stafford in the 12th.
Yeah.
Which is why you don't draft a quarterback anywhere above the... Where would you draft Aaron Rodgers? If everyone had the same mindset as you and I.
Where do I get Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah, when you look at your draft board, who do you replace? What's the lowest, or what's the highest you go on Aaron Rodgers?
Chris Hogan.
So 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
There. Right where Drew Brees went. So Drew Brees is the...
6th round, yeah. High in the 6th, early in the 6th.
And that's where I draft the number 1 quarterback. So if he's still there, then I'm not, of course, I'm not waiting that long. But I'm not, the second they're gone, it's good. Keep taking them.
Yeah.
You see me at drafts, like, oh yeah, keep taking defenses and fucking quarterbacks and kickers. I don't care. Yeah. Great. Excellent. Whatever skill position you left on the board, thank you for leaving that for me. Mm-hmm. It's just too early. So
way too early.
I'm never going to get them. Like, I would have taken, like, I don't know, like, I'm not sure if Breeze was still there.
Yeah.
Like, I'm still
Hard.
I wouldn't have. Because there's Luck, Breeze, and Wilson. I'm sure I would have had a chance at one of them.
Yeah. No, you would have, for sure.
And I just moved. I don't care.
Don't.
No.
You go Rob Kelly to round out your team, and that's just, is he going to be the number one guy at that point in the 13th round? Take a flyer.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Myself, I didn't have any keepers. You can fill your boots, my friend.
Okay, so Sayers started with Saquon Barkley. So all aboard the Saquon Barkley hype train. He's looked great in the preseason. He's looked great in college. My only beef with Saquon Barkley is, especially second overall, and of course we have a keeper league, so he's not the second pick.
I had the choice between Saquon, Melvin Gordon, Devonta Freeman,
and Fournette. Yeah. So I think that's a classic Sayers pick. That's all in. It's a goddamn rookie, and let's board the hype train. It's either great or it's a bad decision.
Yep.
I tend to go. My only problem with Barkley is exactly what we're talking about with Allen Robinson. Exactly what we're talking about with Chris Carson and/or Rashad Penny. Is okay. Did you want the starting running back for the Giants last year? Who was that? Darkwa?
Orleans Darkwa. Yeah.
Yeah. That's where I go now. By all accounts, they've improved the offensive line. They've improved the defense. The team should be better.
Right.
So, and the only offensive players they're going to go through is Beckham and Barkley. So, if that works out, it's a volume play. It's just like a David Johnson. It's, do you trust the Arizona right now? I'm not sure, but is he going to get the ball 30 times? Yeah. So, Does it matter? LaShawn McCoy was a top 10 running back, top 8 running back last season on a very suspect Buffalo offense. But if you're going to get the ball handed to you 22 times and catch 8 passes, you're going to get 140 yards, you're going to get a touchdown.
Yeah.
So if that's where they're going, then that's fine. And Beckham stretches the field enough, so does Sterling Shepard, that you're going to get that they can't just stack the box. That's, the concerns about when it comes to David Johnson this year. It's like, well, they're just going to give it to him, because what else are they going to do?
Yeah.
Then you got, that's a lot, Jordan Howard in the second round. I admittedly owned 0 shares of Jordan Howard last year. I paid 0 attention to the Bears last year. I'm not sure. All I know is that guy gets the ball 20 times a game, so that's equals, again, that's 100 yards, and if you can get a tug out of that, well, then you're fine. And that's backs on backs. And again, so this is where I land on drafting. Well, you still did pretty well with your third back, but you've got 2 strong running backs. Now you can play around. Get 2 strong something. Then you can play around with everything else.
Yeah.
Or, just 2 studs. If you can get Odell Beckham and David Johnson, great. Now you can mess around with the rest of your draft. But just be solid in anything. So if you get Saquon Barkley and Jordan Howard, great. You got 2 studs, 2 starters, 2 guys that are going to get volume. And fantasy football is all about volume. Then you got Gronk, best tight end in the game. It's not close. People can stop, sleeping on him is such a weird thing to say because he's the best player in football. I said it. I'll say it again. He is a difference maker. He would be a monster on any team. You can try to stop that man. If he can stay healthy, like he did 14 of 16 games last year, yeah, they sat him because they were on their way to the Super Bowl. Yeah, that's what you do. As a Patriots fan, I'd sit Gronk the first 8 weeks out of the year just so that he didn't get hurt for the playoffs. Anyways, difference maker, number 1 spot every single week while Gronk is playing. He will be in the position where you have the advantage at that position. Period. No, full stop. Your first wide receiver, Jarvis Landry. We'll see how he works with the Browns. The Browns are exciting this year just because nobody has any fucking idea what's going on. He's making a lot of noise there. Tyrod seems to like him, but so does
Baker.
Mayfield. So you're fine there. Kerryon Johnson, again, a little bit of a roll of the dice because did you want the number 1 running back on Detroit last year? The answer is no, because nobody cares about Theo Riddick or Amir Abdullah. But who cares? He's a rookie. He's getting lots of hype. And again, working on the offensive line, working on a different scheme. They want to run the ball more. Okay, great. Then you got Jamal Williams. So regardless of what happens with Kerryon Johnson and Jordan Howard for that matter, you've got the number one running back in Green Bay for week 1.
And he might not give it up even when Aaron Jones comes back.
Yeah.
And even if he does, hopefully Carry On has had 3 weeks to figure this shit out.
Exactly. It's a coin flip, but it doesn't matter. It's a starter in offense. It should be great.
Yep.
Will Fuller. Everybody loves Will Fuller this year because he is a touchdown machine. He will, if he keeps it up, it will be 3 catches for 50 yards and 2 touchdowns every week.
At this point in the draft, I just go heavy wide receiver because I had one.
Because you
So just the same way where you have 2 stud wide receivers and you just go heavy running back.
Yeah.
I had to go heavy wide receiver and hope that Fuller, Alshon Jeffrey, Julian Edelman, DJ Moore, and Mike Williams, 2 of them are decent.
Yeah, exactly. And then you got Ronald Jones, who's had a fucking horrific offseason. But
I'd rather have him than Chris Ivory.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad. No.
Yeah.
He's your
Take him
fifth.
to the 12th.
He's your 5th running back, or 4th running back. Yeah, no, your 5th running back.
Yeah.
Right. So So all you need to see is in the first 2 weeks, does he get 20 touches? Does he get 8?
He was essentially my last pick because then I went quarterback, defense, kicker.
Yeah, of course, and that's always roughly how it should go. And so Ronald Jones, again, he could be the start, but did you want the starting running back for the Bucs last year? No. So I don't know. I've got him in, and I sound spiteful and a little bitter on that one because I've got him in a couple leagues and I just don't know because he went for 18 touches for 13 yards the other day or some version of that.
That's terrifying. But the Eagles went 0-4 in the preseason, or Nick Foles didn't throw a touchdown or whatever it was.
Right.
And they won the Super Bowl last year, so no one gives a shit about the preseason.
Right, yeah, exactly. Okay, so that's it.
That was the draft. And this is the podcast. We're back at it.
We'll
be here weekly. We expect we expect you to get in the box.
Yeah.
We expect the phones to be open. And we expect special guests.
Hold on.
We expect gifts.
Hold on.
We'll end it off with the box. The Ashley Stares In box is open.
So
and we've got one last point to hit.
I've opened Ashley's box and I've looked in and it looks good and I've got it. Perry Tascona.
We've got an entrance into the box.
Perry Tascona's inside Ashley's box right now.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to pull him out and get myself in there. All right. Well. So Tascona, again, as I always let people know, you have to be prepared. If you write in, which we encourage, you don't have to call. Write in a question, comment,
You've
whatever.
got all week to write in. Write in at any time.
And let me know. Just say there's some for the podcast. If you could just read it, I would gladly read it. If you want to sponsor us, #Northwest Vodka, feel free. But I will just read it blind. I'm not going to read it, edit it, and then come in. So whatever you've got here, Pear. But he knows the rules. So anyways, well. First podcast of the season. Nice work, boys. From the first summit to draft day. I wish everyone a great year, except Sayers, the villain of the league. But it is a new season, so Sayers, good luck as well. I would guess making the playoffs would be a successful year. Have we seen the points for QBs? Wow. Currently 1 point for every 10 yards. Just saying. What does that mean?
Fanoff there was just an issue with the way the points were doled out, and it was 0.1 points per yard for quarterbacks, but I've already talked to Fanoff today about it, and Father of the Year, Kurt LeBranch, actually messaged me to ask about it as well.
It was 1 point for every 10 yards from a quarterback?
Yeah, it was just Fanoff had set 0.1 points per yard, which we're doing for running back, wide receiver, tight end, but it had gone to the whole field. So just an oversight. And I just said, hey, I just went over the rules with the second set of eyes.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And so he's making that fix.
Okay, because then Drew Brees is a first-round pick. I change all of...
Oh, of course, yeah. Quarterback's going to put up 60 points.
Yeah.
But Fanoff is already working on changing that. It's just a glitch in the system, and things will be fine. So no need to worry about that.
Yeah. Perry, just with that message, just reminded me, we did have a summit. We have established a rules committee. Mm-hmm. That's myself, yourself, Mr. Patterson, Mr. Tascona, and...
I think that's it, right? Just the 4 of us?
Sure.
For that's all the purposes.
At this point, that's all the lawyers will allow us to say.
Yep.
And another potential father of the year, Perry Tascona.
Yes.
Great dad.
Yeah.
So there were some rules decided on, some rules changed. We discussed most of them at the draft. Nothing too groundbreaking. We're still working on getting rid of we're getting rid of keepers.
No keepers next year, which is great. We're gonna have a fresh draft, fresh year, which is awesome. Everyone should be excited about that.
Me and you will keep fighting the good fight to try to get rid of kickers.
We're gonna keep trying to get rid of kickers or defenses, get rid of somebody that no one cares about.
Yeah, I still like defense, but kickers for sure. Let's get rid of them.
And we moved away from quarter point PPR.
Yeah.
And
then
the whole issue with trading injured players and guys who are out of the playoffs and trying to trade. No more of that. Once you're out of the playoffs, you're
collusion.
Done.
And it doesn't matter because we're done with keepers.
Exactly. So that won't even be a
factor.
That
incentive is gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. That's fantastic. Within the next month to 6 weeks, I'm pretty confident that we will hammer out an exact date for the draft for next year.
Yeah.
And it's going to be in Las Vegas. That is just... It's a 10-year anniversary.
10-year anniversary of the Whiskey Barrel Football Fantasy League.
And if for some reason you made it this far and expected us to talk about whiskey at all, sorry.
I'll bring some whiskey next time.
We can drink whiskey. I love whiskey.
Absolutely. We look forward to your phone calls, your text messages, your emails.
Yeah.
And everybody, best of luck on the year. Have a great week 1.
Mm-hmm. Anything else?
Happy fantasy season.
It's exciting. Like... How about that? How about there's points on the board on Thursday? How about the fact that we can actually start? Oh, it's very exciting.
It's stressful and it's exciting, and we're happy to be back for season 2. And we look forward to having our first guest in the coming weeks.
Yeah, sure. Let us know.
Cheers.